Good morning, everybody. Don't worry, I have already cut my presentation quite a lot. I will present a different project, I would say. I will focus on skill for policymakers, and we are working on innovative, transformative innovation. So we are not only dealing with blue economy, although, of course, the blue dimension is very much present in our work. So I will explain you a little bit more through the presentation. I believe we all agree if we say that we are in a decisive moment when it comes to achieve a just and fair transition, ecological transition, and that it's more and more clear that we need to transition or we need to change our socioeconomic model. Is with this idea behind that is born the Dialogue4Innovation project, which is an Interreg Euromed project. It's an institutional dialogue project, so with a very important political dimension. So that's why we focus on policy making and the skills of policymakers, and is linked to the Euromed program mission on innovative sustainable economy. And I will try to clarify what we mean by that. We mean an economy, a kind of economy that puts itself at the service of transition towards a resilient, just economic model. So this is why we link this project to the need to transition or to change the socioeconomic model. I will try to explain you a little bit more on the capacity pillar of the project, but I need to open here a parenthesis. As I was saying, we're working in something broader than blue economy. As you can imagine, innovative, sustainable economy goes or can be linked to many different economic sectors, not only the blue economy, but also you can imagine how the blue economy can play a role in shifting in this socioeconomic model. So that is why we expect it to have a very important blue dimension. We just have some fresh news that come from the monitoring committee of the Euromed program that happened yesterday. They have been selecting what they call the thematic projects, so smaller and more technical projects that will start running next year. And they will guide us in the process of narrowing down our thematics as governance and general project when applying this approach of innovative sustainable economy, because in practical terms we need to know on which thematics we will be working. Well, these smaller projects that are still to be selected will mark a little bit the path. And they told us already some of the blue dimension of the pre-selected projects. So they are not final, but we know that some of the pre-selected projects are working on blue biotechnology, marine renewable energies, marine robotics, shipbuilding, fishing, and agriculture. So just to give you a first taste of what we think would be some of the thematics we will focus our project on. So in very big and general terms, Dialogue4Innovation project is a 4 million project funded by Euromed, the Interreg Euromed program, is led by Emilia-Romagna region and will last for 7 years. I think this is what is worth mentioning because, as you can see, we started this year and will run for 7 years until almost the end of this decade, which is a turning point in the environmental international agenda. So just for you to know, to have us in your mind for the upcoming 7 years. Sorry, I will skip this. Just to explain a little bit, the overall ambition of the project is to create the right conditions for a permanent institutional dialogue for a stronger and more innovative and sustainable Mediterranean. I know it's very broad, but here in the right side of the screen you see the main general achievements or the aims that we would like to achieve. First of all, to increase the institutional capacity to deliver what we call transformative innovation policies. I will go a little bit more in detail on this pillar, but of course it's important to mention that we will work to align all the efforts that multiple stakeholders working from different sectors and different governance levels are delivering in order to achieve the ecological transition. So we're also working to overcoming the current fragmentation of approaches to generate a dialogue space where we can create a common understanding and a shared vision on the ecological transition at the Mediterranean level. So since I said I will focus on the institutional capacity pillar, I think the first thing I should mention is that the focus of the project will be put on the orientation, the direction of the institutional innovation capacities rather in creating innovation institutional capacities, because the raison d'être or the reflection behind this project is how we make use of the institutional innovation capacities to overcome the global societal challenges. So we are not going only to support the development of capacities, but rather to orient them towards our societal challenges. And this is because we are embedding this project in a context where we believe that innovation should leave behind the logic of competitive and growth and move towards a sustainability logic. I could summarize the main branches of action of the project in these 3 big points. We will focus, as I was saying, on the capacity pillar. I want to explain you a little bit more how the project wants to encourage new ways of making what we call innovative transformative policies in the Mediterranean. But of course, we need to agree, what do we mean by transformative innovation policies? Of course, when we say this combo, when we add the transformative adjective to policy innovation, we're talking about something else that goes beyond classical innovation policy. We're talking about an innovation policy that is working in the framework of a societal agenda. So it's always linked to a societal goal. We can think of it in practical terms as a policy that is linked to a specific sustainable development goal. And it seeks a transformation in the socio-technical systems, for instance, agriculture, mobility, energy. These are systems. But not only it seeks a transformation, but it seeks a transformation with a very clear and well-defined orientation. For instance, mitigating climate change, for instance, ending hunger or reducing inequalities. And these kind of transformative innovation policies are also intersectorial, cross-cutting and multilateral policies, because they acknowledge that the nature of the challenges that call for them to exist are also multi-phased and intersectorial. And what I would like to also highlight is that these kind of policies are place-based, so are very sensitive to the territories. They start by looking at the territorial challenges and then little by little developing the policy with the involvement of all the relevant stakeholders that have a contribution. So how we are going to, as you can imagine, is quite complex to get policymakers to start delivering this kind of complex solution for complex challenges. So if we want to achieve a Mediterranean full of innovative, transformative solutions, we need definitely to support the institutional capacity. How is the project going to do it? First of all, it's going to create an approach based on the basis of the principles that I just explained for a multi-level integrated territorial policy making for an innovative sustainable economy. And we will apply with policymakers and relevant stakeholders working at different territorial levels. So we will apply this approach at the local, regional, national, and even macro-regional level through what we call the Transformative Innovation Policy Labs, places for experimentation to gather the policymakers and relevant stakeholders to experiment on how to deliver better policymaker for innovation, responsible innovation that is useful to achieve the ecological transition. Of course, we will equip, I'm speaking about future because we just started, but the ambition is to equip all the participants to these labs with a toolkit that will support their capacity to better understand innovative policy, transformative policies, and the challenges in their territories. So a series of workshops, trainings, guidelines, and system mappings will follow. I will close here. Just for your information, next 6th of July, so in 2 weeks' time, we're having an online public launch event of the project. If anyone would be interested in learning more about the activities in more concrete terms, reach me out after the presentation and I will transfer the registration link. Thank you.